So you said that you want to become a business analyst, right? You're aspiring to be a business analyst. So do
Yes.
you know what does a business analyst do? Who is a business analyst and why an organization need a business analyst?
Yes, sir. So business analyst is a person who makes data-driven decisions for the companies
Mm-hmm.
where they work for. So what is data-driven decision making is basically where there is data that has been obtained through a lot of processes through a lot period of time, and that is analyzed by the BA, and that will be later on. That will be. So this can you give me a minute, mind? Someone's knocking the door.
No problem. You can take your
Yes.
time. Anyway, there was no
Yes, sir.
sound, Atul, so you can continue. That's okay. It's
Okay.
not
Yes, sir.
disturbing me.
So
But yeah,
okay,
it
sir.
might be
So
disturbing you, so that's okay. Go ahead.
yes, sir. I've told them not to knock the door, but they still doing it anyway. So
No problem. You can continue.
okay, yeah. Yeah, sir. So so the business analyst basically helps the business to make data-driven decisions. Thereby, there is actual logical reasoning behind every decision made by the business, so as to reduce the losses, improve the performance of whatever product or some strategy has been formulated by the company, and also to maintain whatever has been planned, so as to achieve the business goal. So this is what basically what is the role of a business analyst.
Okay. Okay. So Atul, you said that business analysts generally take data-driven decisions, right? They are the one who
Yes, sir.
actually works on data and they try to generally analyze the data, right? So,
Yes.
what kind of tools do you think that a business analyst should learn in order to become a BA and analyze the data?
Firstly, for a BA to for a person to become a successful BA,
Mm-hmm.
I feel the first basic requirement would be to learn Excel and the advanced Excel,
Mm-hmm.
because that will be the basic foundation for all the activities that will be done later. So apart from Excel, then you must know SQL, and you need to know how to visualize visualize the data whatever has been analyzed by you, and that requires data visualization tools like Tableau, and Power BI, etc. So and apart from that, in the day-to-day activities, Jira would be required.
Hmm.
So these are some of the few tools which a business analyst would require to use on a day-to-day basis.
Okay, okay. So that's great. I think that's a wonderful answer. So Atul, let's take your BA mindset to a test. Let's bring it to a test. Okay. So let's
Sure.
imagine that Atul has joined a food delivery startup. It could be anything like let's say Swiggy, Zomato, or any platform, right? As a junior business analyst. Now, before touching any of the documents or any of the tools, okay, in the organization, what would be the very first things that you would try to understand about the business and about your role?
Uh, so can you elaborate me on
Okay,
a
so
little bit
let's say
more?
you joined Swiggy as a junior business analyst, okay, and this is the very
Okay.
first day. You don't have any access to any of the tool like Jira, SQL, Power BI, or any of the tool which is used in the organization, right? So as
Yes, sir.
a first day person, right? This is the very first day where you have joined the organization, right? So what are the very few things that you are going to do within the organization without touching any of the tools or any of the document to understand that what you are going to do in that organization, what is going to be your role in that particular organization?
So firstly, what I would do is I would like to understand what basically the company would do on a on a general point of view, because once you understand what the company actually does, you can I understand and analyze and come to a conclusion about what your role would be.
Hmm.
Apart from that, some I would what I would do is I would observe what's happening within the the office or the company,
Hmm.
from whatever limited sources I have. For example, it could be from the seniors who are around me talking to each other,
Hmm.
or it could be the any sort of information that can come through me. It could be through my work colleagues, my peers.
Hmm.
So this thing would help me understand what basically I would do. Apart from
Right.
that, before getting hired, I will be given a small rough idea of what my role would be. So based on to that, also I can come to a a small conclusion about what my role would be. So these are the ways I would like to I would do something to
Right.
understand what my role would be.
Right. Okay. That's good. I think you have a good understanding on this, Atul. So simply like when someone asks you similar type of questions, you can say that, hey, like as I don't have access of any of the tools, right? So I would love to understand about the organization more. Okay. So why the organization was started, what is the business goal of the organization, what kind of product or service the organization is offering, along with that, who are the different stakeholders in the organizations, right? The tech stakeholders would be there. There will be product, customers, operations, sales, and a lot of different departments, right? So first day I would like to interact with the people. That's what you are going to do. Okay. Now, Atul, do you know about raci metrics?
Yes, sir. Racimetrics is a technique used in the knowledge area of business analytics called uh, planning and this one BAPM, that is planning and monitoring.
Business
So
analysis,
what
planning, and monitoring. Yeah.
business analysis, planning and monitoring. So what we try to do through RACI is we try to understand who is like the word RACI is like as an abbreviation of four terms, that is who's responsible, who's accountable, who's consulted, and who's informed. So using RACI, the business analyst will understand who is the person responsible for a particular task or a process, who's to be informed, who's to be consulted, and who has to be held accountable in case of something happens. So this helps the business analyst in planning and understanding who to be consulted, or who has to be given priority towards while working with. So this is what racimetrics basically means.
Okay. So let's say there is a task, okay, which is about
Okay.
identifying the problems in the organization, okay, whatever the problem is going on into the organization, and you have five stakeholders. Okay, one is the
Okay.
business analyst, second is the product manager, third is your let's say the developer, okay, fourth is the sponsor, and fifth is the subject matter expert. Now can you
Hmm.
please like assign the racy to these stakeholders, like who is going to be responsible, who is going to be accountable? You can use pen and paper, Atul, that's okay. You can use pen and paper, you can write down on it, and you can just prepare it and share it with me on the screen.
So can you just tell me
Okay, I'll
who's
repeat it. So the task is to identify the problem or the need of the organization. Okay, so this is the
okay?
first task. Okay, and there are five different stakeholders. First is business analyst, second is product manager, third is a developer, fourth is the sponsor, and fifth is your subject matter expert. So whom you are going to assign what role in racing?
Okay, sir. Just a minute. So okay. Okay, sir. So I would like to. I have an answer for that.
Hmm.
So the project product manager would be the person who is responsible
Hmm.
for for understanding the need or the problem.
Hmm.
The developer would be the person who would be uh, the accountable person for.
Hmm.
The subject matter expert would be consulted by the developer, and the sponsor would be the person who has to be informed about what has been the decision taken by them.
Okay. Okay.
So this is what the answer.
Okay, that's fine. All right. So Atul, tell me one more thing. What is the difference between responsible and accountable in RACI?
Responsible person would be okay. So responsible and accountable. Responsible person would be the person who is taking the responsibility of the entire the process or the whatever task has been given. An accountable person would be the, like, it is the only differentiation between them would be the level of hierarchy, is what I feel. Because a product manager would be in having a higher hierarchy than a developer in terms of this, because the developer is
Accountability has nothing to do with hierarchy, Atul. Okay, let me
okay.
correct you here.
Okay.
Okay, I am going to again re-explain you what do you mean by responsible and accountable. Okay,
Okay.
consulted and informed, and I want you to rethink to your answer. And
Okay.
don't panic, Atul. Okay, I can
Okay.
see nervousness on your face, so
Okay,
don't
sir.
panic. It happens in the interview. Okay, so not
Okay.
everyone is perfect every time, but we are trying to understand that how the interviews are happening,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
So responsible means a person who is actually going to do that work. Okay, so that means
Okay, sir.
responsible. Accountable means, Atul, like accountability means, like, let's say if I tell you that, Atul, you need to basically get this particular work done from some other person, right? So basically
Okay.
you are the one who is actually owning the result or the sign off. Okay, you are not the one
Okay.
who is doing the work. You are just you are accountable to get that work done. Okay, you are not
Okay,
the
sir.
actual one who is getting it done, right? So that is
Okay,
means
sir.
accountable. Third is
Okay.
your consulted. Consulted means like those person whose opinion is needed. Okay,
Okay, sir.
and
Okay.
fourth person is informed. Okay, under racy, and informed is basically the person who just needs the update. Okay, so you understood
Okay.
what is the difference between all these. Responsible means the person who is actually going to do. Accountable is the person who owns the task and gives you the sign off. Basically they are not the one who is doing it, but they are the one who is accountable if that work is not done, so that person is going to be questioned. Okay,
Okay, sir. Okay.
consulted, whom you can have a conversation and take feedback from them or consult with them, right? Just to understand that whether this is the right approach or not. And informed,
Okay.
just to keep them informed. Okay, now the task I gave you, Atul, the task was
Yeah.
that identifying the business problem and the needs. Okay, that was the task, right? So do
Okay,
you
sir.
think developer is accountable to identify the business needs and problems?
No, sir.
No, right?
Yes,
Who
sir.
is accountable?
It would be this subject matter expert.
No, you're again wrong.
No, who? Okay. Mm,
Accountable means the person who is going to own the task. Okay, so
okay.
own the task means like they would ensure that things are done. So
So it will be the project manager,
yes, you're
product
right.
manager. Yes,
Product
yes.
manager or project manager. Why? Because look, Atul, if you are a product manager in an organization, so in that organization you would have a specific product with you. Okay, it could be the website, it could be the mobile application. So whatever goes onto that website, whatever problem that website or application is facing, is your accountability. Okay, because if anything does not work, people are going to question you because you are the owner, you are the product manager. Okay, so
Okay, sir.
accountability will always be with one person, that is product manager. Okay, depending upon the task. Now
Okay, sir.
second is responsibility, that who is going to identify that whether there are problems or needs. It is always the business analyst. Okay, it's your
Okay, sir.
responsibility. Remember, the very first topic that we studied was backup model, business analysis core competency
This,
model, in which we told you that you need to identify the need, you need to identify the stakeholder, you need to identify the value. So need means the what exactly the organization is needing right now.
needs.
Okay, so that will be the business analyst. Okay, consultation or informed, you can keep the sponsor informed that, sir, this is the analysis that we have done, we are trying to identify certain problems, and this is how we are going to ensure that things are done. Subject matter expert and developer will always be consulted. Okay, because
Okay, sir.
developer is
Okay.
the one who is going to develop it. So later on, once the problem is identified, then the accountability of the developer will come in order to develop or solve the problem, right? Not at the
Yes,
very
sir.
initial stage. So you need to understand that RACI, responsibility, accountability, consulted and informed, what exactly does it mean, right? And
Okay, sir.
based upon that you need to answer. And I think this is the topic that you need to be in a little bit more depth. You need to
Okay.
understand it in a better fashion. Okay, all right, that's fine. Okay, now let's put your thinking to a test, Atul. Okay,
Okay, sir.
so there is a
Okay.
food delivery app. Okay,
Okay.
you can note it down if you want. So there is a food delivery app, and they are facing a problem. Okay, so
Okay,
on
sir.
Google Play Store they have high downloads. In last 6 months they have a very high download, so every month they are increasing by 5 to 10% in terms of downloads, right? But
Okay.
the repeat orders have dropped by 20%. Okay, so let's say
Okay.
if last month their downloads was let's say 1 lakh, so this month their download is increased by 1 lakh 5,000. Okay,
Okay.
but last month if they had received let's say 20,000 orders, so this month they have seen a drop of 20%. Okay, so
So higher
4,000
downloads.
higher downloads but lower repeat orders, lower orders that they are receiving right
Okay.
now. Okay,
Okay, sir.
and this is happening from last 3 months. Okay,
Okay, sir.
now
Okay.
the leadership or the sponsor wants to improve the customer retention. Okay, because they want the customer, because people, if people are downloading their app, so they want them to order from their app, right? Otherwise like they won't be able to generate revenue. So that's why the organization or the leadership wants to improve customer retention within the next quarter. So they have given you 3 months of time in order to fix this problem. Now as a business analyst, how you are going to approach it?
Hmm. So what first thing is, what thing I understood is there is a low like like though the downloads are increasing, but the repeat value has the repeat order has decreased.
Correct.
So that means there is a problem in the current state of the solution.
Correct. Yes.
So I would like to say that the two knowledge areas what I would be using is solution evaluation as well as requirement. Uh, yeah, it RAD.
Hmm.
So basically, because I have understood like what is like yeah, what is the issue is with the current problem. So we are trying to evaluate with that.
Correct.
So and it's already been told us that now with the current solution whatever we have we need to develop over that or else we'll lose even more customers.
Hmm. Hmm.
So we'll have to redesign the entire thing
But
or
again, Atul, you'll
maybe.
have to think here that you have started analyzing the current state, which is okay. Don't jump onto the solution. Right now, you just need to understand the problem, that where exactly the problem is occurring. Okay, so this question
Okay.
is all about that how you are going to understand the problem. Okay,
Okay.
you need to figure it out that where exactly the problem is coming from, right? So to
Okay.
figure out the problem, what steps you are going to take?
Firstly, we'll have a analysis of what the problem is, why is it occurring. So that can happen through through like document analysis,
Hmm.
or we can do a process analysis, and
Hmm.
as well as we can do root cause analysis as to understand why exactly this is happening.
Hmm.
Because we do understand the fact that there are higher downloads, but that is not equating to higher orders from the customers.
Hmm.
So first we have to analyze that from the whatever document analysis we can do, because it will basically have all the data required, because we'll understand why this has happened and why it did not happen.
Hmm.
So we'll understand through a diagnostic approach, and
Hmm.
then we'll understand what has to be done. So this is the first step what we would be trying to do.
Hmm, 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 hmm. Okay, okay,
Uh,
that's
yeah.
great, right? And then let's say you have limited time, okay, to do this particular project, because we have already said that initially that you have only 1 quarter. So identifying the problem, and then redesigning things, then getting the solution implemented, everything you will be able to do, like you have time boxed it to 1 quarter. Okay, so
Hmm.
if you have limited time, Atul, what kind of analysis or framework would help you to quickly understand that what's going on in the organization, or what exactly is happening with the product, why people are not reordering from the system?
Mm, one with the time constraints what we have,
Hmm.
I think. Mm, so can you give me a minute? I'll just think once.
You can
But
take 2 minutes, Atul. That's okay.
okay, so let's try. So So okay, so one thing what we can do is we can conduct a workshop kind of a program
Hmm.
where we try to understand why this is happening from the opinions of various departments.
Hmm.
So that will help us understand in a short frame of time what exactly is happening within the organization, or what are the organizational limitations.
Right. Okay. Okay.
So analyzing that would be the
But
fastest
Atul,
way to make
it,
some changes
that's
to
all.
the.
That's okay. I understood. But it would not always be the case now where the problem lies within the organization. Sometimes it would happen that the problem is with the customer as well. Okay, so the customer is like, there are a lot of competitors in the market. So for an example, if a food delivery app, if we'll take an example of Zomato, so the biggest competitor of Zomato is Swiggy, right? So there would be a high possibility that people are downloading Zomato, but they are not ordering from Zomato or reordering from Zomato because they Swiggy is offering better,
Better deal.
I would say better amount, better discounts, right? They are running campaigns, so that also could be one of the things, right? So
Yes, sir.
the answer that I would expect from you here is that as I have limited time, what I'll do is that I'll divide everything into two factors: internal and external factor. I'll try to evaluate two factors. Internal factor,
Okay.
I'll try to analyze app performance, delivery time, and pricing. Okay. And external
Okay.
factor, I'll try to analyze competitor offers and customer expectations. Okay, so
Okay.
this is how I'm going to do the analysis in a quick time. The moment you divide your work, Atul, into two different factors, the moment you divide your work now, it becomes easy, because as a business analyst, our responsibility always is to slice and dice the entire work. Okay, because if you are asked to do a particular work, right, you need to get into depth of it every time. You'll have to get into the depth of it. You need to ask questions every time, that why we want to do this, what could be the things. Okay, so generally you'll have to think from a mindset that like, there will be a possibility that our app might be not good. There is a possibility that our operations and delivery, so there could be one of the problem that our operations are not good, right? So the delivery agents are not delivering properly. That could one of the factor, like people are not reordering from us, right? So you need to just specify that what points you are going to check. Okay,
Okay, sir.
and if you can't do that, just say that I'm going to perform SWOT analysis. I'm going to
Okay.
understand strength, weaknesses, opportunity, and threats.
Okay,
Okay,
sir. Okay.
all right, great. Okay, so it's
Sir,
almost been,
but how did you arrive to this answer? Like, were you always prepared with this answer, or
it's experience, Atul.
okay?
Okay, so with time we'll try to understand things. Okay, now tell me one thing. um what question I can ask you? Do you know about stakeholder metrics?
Stakeholder metrics. I mean, I do know.
Like, there were three topics now under stakeholder analysis. One was RACI, another one was SWOT, the onion diagram, and third one was your stakeholder metrics, if you remember.
Uh, is it something related to persona, sir?
No, persona is a different topic, Atul. Persona is
Okay.
basically the target audiences that you are trying to, like, basically, let's say
Okay.
if you develop a feature, so who are the people,
Okay.
those who are going to use those particular features is called the personas. Okay, so the
Okay.
customers or the end users are generally are the personas of your entire project. uh,
Okay.
Stakeholder metrics is basically, like, although, like, if you don't recall, that's okay. Okay, but stakeholder metrics is that we divide stakeholders based upon the interest and influence. Okay, so basically we divide it into four
Um,
quadrants, and then we have the X quadrant
I
as the
do. Yes,
interest,
sir. I
and
do. I remember this. I have done in my BRD also.
you have done it in the BRD, right? Okay,
In the
so
first BRD.
tell me, if you have to place the end user, okay, and the stakeholder, sorry, the end user and the sponsor, in which quadrant or in which particular section you'll place them?
Mm. So can you repeat the four quadrants?
Yeah, so the just divide it into four sections. Okay, so the first section will be your low interest high influence section.
Okay, sir.
Second is going to be high interest high influence.
Okay.
The third one, the right side lower one, it is going to be your high interest but low influence. And the fourth one is going to be low influence low interest.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so where exactly are you going to place the sponsor and the end user?
Uh, Sponsor and the
End user who is going to use the
okay.
product.
uh, so sponsor, I think he will be in high influence and high interest,
Okay.
whereas the end user would be of high interest but low influence.
Okay. How come you can say that this sponsor has high, sorry, you said high interest and high influence for the stakeholder, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so how come you can say that it has high interest for a particular feature if you're trying to develop it?
Uh, so sponsor, no, sponsor would be low interest and high influence.
Yeah, this time you have said it right, but I think the moment I countered you, then you thought that, yeah, and that's a very smart move. That
Okay.
if I've countered you, then you have just changed your answer. But the
No,
first
sir,
answer
I have
was
a reason for that. I have a reason
okay.
for that.
Explain me why.
So because sponsor usually he only invests in the business. He needs to be informed about what's been happening, but he might not necessarily involve in the business like entirely, like how much a
Wonderful.
developer or an
Wonderful.
SME would.
Yes. Yes, you are absolutely right here, Atul. So this is the very correct understanding about a sponsor. Okay, they might not be necessarily always get involved in what you are doing. They would always need to be informed at high level. Okay, high level means that generally in Hindi we say na upar upar se pata hona chahiye that
Mm.
what the organization is doing, because they don't have a lot of time to get deeper into what you are doing or show interest in what you are doing, because they have a lot of different things to get the organization to get executed, right? So that's why they
Mm.
would not get involved in that entire thing, which is great.
Okay, sir.
I think, yeah, that's pretty much it from my end. I don't have any other questions.
So what do I work on more?
I think you don't need to work on a lot, but there are a few topics, Atul, that I want you to prepare. Okay.
Okay, sir.
First, just note it down. First is racimetrics.
Racemetrics,
Okay. Second, try to prepare for organizational modeling,
organizational modeling. Okay.
SWOT analysis.
Yeah, okay, sir.
Okay. Try to understand about process model and data model,
Okay, sir.
wireframing.
Wireframing.
Okay. And then there's one more thing I think I forgot. Yeah, and some of the techniques that you are going to do for elicitation. Okay, so whenever you interact with the stakeholders in an organization, right, so there are different techniques that you use, like workshop, surveys. So generally you need to understand that for which kind of stakeholder what kind of elicitation technique would be helpful. Okay, so if you're conducting, like if you're talking to, let's say, internal stakeholder, right, the organizational people, so there I think email, workshop, or a small meeting would help. But if you want to talk to the end user or the customers, where the customers are in, let's say, thousands or lakh in number, in that particular case this particular thing will not work, like workshop or interviews is
Okay.
not going to work, right? You need to use survey and all in order to talk to them. So you need to
Mm.
understand that with what kind of stakeholder what kind of technique would be used. But all in all, your understanding is pretty solid. If you want, if you'll ask me that how much would I rate you, so I would rate you 8 out of 10. And I would give a go as a junior BA. If I would have been interviewing you, I would have given you a go ahead for the next round. Okay,
Okay, sir. Thank you.
so that's great, Atul. And one thing I would like to inform you that this entire meeting was recorded. Okay,
Okay, sir.
and with all your permission, we would take certain clips from this interview, a few of the sections, okay, and we'll post it on our YouTube or on our Instagram page if you are okay
Fine,
with
sir.
it. Okay, we just
That's
want to
okay.
show our students that this is how we are helping our students to prepare for the interviews and all. Okay.
Sure, sir. Okay.
Okay,
No issues with
we are
that.
going to drop you an email as well for your consent, Atul. After you
Okay.
allow us the consent, you provide us the consent, then only we are going to provide it to the editing team.